Alright guys, today's goal, the learner will master multiplying and dividing rational expressions. So we have two fractions here, two rational expressions. We need to multiply them. But the first thing I would do is try to simplify. Can I simplify the 2 and the 5 at all? No, but how about y third and y? Yeah. So this first one here, I would have as 2 over 5, but y to the third divided by, it's a little messy, let's clean that up a little. So you still have, so the top is 2y squared, bottom's 5, because y to the third divided by y squared, times, well, 15 and 8 can't simplify either, so you still have 15. But see how you have y to the fifth on the bottom? That means the bottom's going to be y squared. Because y to the third divided by y to the fifth is y squared on the bottom. So now I look to multiply, but can I simplify anything? So let me see. Yeah, 1, 3, 1, 4. So I get 1 times 3 is 3. I still have y squared on the top. 1 times 4 is 4, so I have y squared on the bottom. But what's y squared divided by y squared? Well, it's 1. So you have 3 over 4. Now they're not always going to end up being a whole number. But press pause. Just try to simplify some of the ratios or some of the individual rational expressions going on. Try to simplify some things. But press pause. Try to do this one. Okay? So hopefully you did. If I look at the first one, the numbers still stay the same. I have 7, 4, z, because z squared divided by z to the third is z in the bottom, times, well, z squared on top, 14 on the bottom. Well, if I go to simplify now, I get 1, 2, so I get z squared on top, 8z on the bottom. So what's going to be left? Well, z over 8. Okay? If you're not sure about these things right now, replay this. But these should not be difficult. Okay? So let's take a look at some other ones. Alright, so here we go. It still says find the product. So we're still multiplying. But here's the thing we've talked about. You have to factor. So you have to ask yourself, 1 times negative 2 is negative 2, and they have to add the negative 1 there. So what multiplies negative 2 as negative 1? Positive 2, negative 1. So again, I was asking, multiplies the negative 2, adds to positive 1. Positive 2, negative 1. Now the bottom, it's just a and b, so they have an x income, so you factor that out. And you get this, times. Well, the top you can factor out 2x. You get x plus 2. The bottom, well, factor out a 5 first. Because then you get x squared minus 3x plus 2. So before I keep going, I look, can I cancel anything? Yeah. You have x plus 2 and x plus 2. Those cancel each other out. So this first one now is x minus 1 over x times. You still have the 2x and the x plus 2. Here we still have the 5. But here you got to factor that. So what multiplies a positive 2 and adds to negative 3? So again, positive 2, negative 3. Well, x minus 2. X minus 1. Now see how that's in the top? So see how this is in the top and this is in the bottom? That means we can cancel these out. Boom, boom. So let's see. What am I left with? Well, the top I have 2x, x plus 2. The bottom, 5x, because I did 5 times the x. I still have the x minus 2. Well, something I see here, the x's. So when we cancel those out, you have 2 times x plus 2 over 5 times x minus 2. So there's your final answer here. Leave it factored. Okay? So we have to factor and then cancel like terms. I'll give you one hint before I say to press pause. Put it over 1. So go ahead and press pause. Try to factor things that can be and simplify. So hopefully you attempted this on your own. And if you make mistakes, you erase and replace. So nothing I can do to the top. The bottom you have to ask, a times c is 12, so what multiplies to 12 adds to negative 7? Well, negative 4, negative 3, and I've got x's, I've got w's, because x is normally that variable we use. I just fell into the bad habit. So 4 and 3, but see, you can erase, replace, times. Nothing we can factor over here. But see how we have w minus 4 and w minus 4? So those cancel out. You're left with 2w squared on the top. 1 times that, so w minus 3 on the bottom. So there is your final answer, factored form. Okay? Now we can't cancel this with one of these because that's w minus 3. It's not w times it, it's minus, so that doesn't work. So we've talked about multiplication. Let's talk about division. Alright, well, now we're trying to divide. So let's think back here. How do you divide by a fraction? So if I asked you this, 1/2 divided by 3/4. Remember, we multiply by the reciprocal. So that would be 2/3. Well, same thing goes here. So let's see. Can I factor the first one? Is there anything that multiplies to 9 and adds to negative 6? Yep. 3 and negative 3 and negative 3. 12x. I'll put that over 1. Multiply by the reciprocal. So really, is division anything different than multiplication? No, you just have to remember, multiply by the reciprocal. We'll see how one of these matches up with one of those, so they cancel out. What are you left with? Well, you have 1 times x minus 3 on the top. 1 times the x minus 3. That's gone, so we just have, well, this is gone, so you just have the 12x on the bottom. And there we go. So hopefully this makes sense. And hopefully you'll be able to do this next problem. So there it is. Remember to factor. Remember to multiply by the reciprocals. And then also this x squared minus 4, my hint to you, is what multiplies to negative 4 and adds to 0. That's what that's asking right there. This should be something you guys know, though. Alright? See you tomorrow.